Good evening, everyone. My name is Ian,
I'm Jalea.
and today we'll be making collard greens. So, during collard greens, when you first prep the vegetable, you want to make sure you trim the stems to make sure you don't get any bitter pieces in it, and you want to make sure you vigorously wash your greens because that is a key thing to making good greens. So first we're going to start by adding oil to our medium-high heat pan.
Collard greens contain compounds that may help lower LDL, and this helps support overall cardiovascular health.
And nextly, we'll be adding our onions to our oil. Once those onions are translucent though, which they are now translucent, I will show you that actually. There you are, all translucent. You can see nice golden brown. That's when they're at the fragrant stage. And now we are able to add our minced garlic next. And then when we do our garlic, the reason we add the garlic after the onions is because we don't want that garlic to burn. The onions will cook a lot slower than the garlic. It's just if you add the garlic, you get those brown bits in it, and then at the end of your dish, when you're eating, you kind of taste that little bitterness or burntness. That's your burnt garlic in there. You want to avoid that. And if you do burn the garlic, I would suggest restarting with your onion and your garlic in a new pan. So now that our garlic is pretty well cooked in here, it's all getting fragrant and it's coming up in my nostrils. I can smell it. It smells amazing. So now that's time to add our greens. So we're going to start by adding little by little. Get a little wilted with that steam, that oil, all the fragrance coming off the onions and garlic. It's all making a wonderful flavor combination right now. And I'm just mixing this around until it's all wilted, until I can see all the greens look mostly moisturized and starting to cook down a little bit. Incorporating the onions and garlic in there. And now you can see all those greens look like they're nice and moisturized and they're starting to become a nice bright green. That's when you are ready to add your low sodium stock.
So we're using low sodium vegetable broth to help reduce the overall sodium intake, and that's good for maintaining overall health.
So now that we just deglazed that pan, we're going to make sure to get all those little, not black bits, but brown bits off the bottom of the pan with our stock. That is called fawn. When all the brown bits are on the bottom, you're just taking them off with that wine or stock, just really adding all those extra flavors. As you can see, the stock is properly deglazed in there, it's nice and incorporated, and now we can let that simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes on medium-low heat until the moisture has properly incorporated into the greens. And we'll be right back once that's done cooking. Alright, and we're back. So after about 20 to 25 minutes of light simmering, you can tell our greens are nice and wilted and cooked down, and now they are at a nice tender state. And at this point, now we can add our apple cider vinegar. This will add a nice acidic, not necessarily fresh flavor, but it adds acidity to the greens, which brings out the freshness in the greens.
An alternative to using the vinegar is to use lemon juice, but it's just another way to add flavor without raising the sodium intake. And at this point, you could also add in white navy beans, which is just another plant-based version of extra protein.
And then at this time, once the apple cider vinegar is properly incorporated, now you are able to add your salt and pepper mixture. And you're just going to sprinkle it over above, getting it nice and seasoned. Because if you add the salt too early, the greens are going to release a lot of water and it's not going to really cook down the way you want. Now those greens, they look like collard greens to me, so I think we're ready. And now we're going to do a little bit of a spaghetti style plating. So you can grab the collards, since they're long strips, you can grab the collards and twist with your tongs like this, making a little ball almost. This is it's a very healthy dish, very tasty dish, and very fresh dish. And there we have collard greens. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys learned something, and enjoy your days. Take care.